Hello, we are from group 12 and we're gonna explain about the Wiig knowledge management cycle model. So before we get to know about the Wiig KM cycle model, I'm gonna explain about the knowledge management. So knowledge management is a science that used to manage knowledge based on the data, information, and experience that we have. So basically knowledge management is divided into two types, namely tacit and explicit knowledge.
Next is an explanation of what is the Wiig KM cycle. The Wiig model was proposed by Carl Wiig in 1993 with the claim that knowledge is useful and valuable only if it is organized and synchronized. Wiig also argues that the ultimate goal of knowledge management is to make organizations act intelligently by facilitating the creation, accumulation, dissemination, and use of quality knowledge. Throughout its KM cycle, Wiig tries to show how knowledge is built and used by individuals and organizations.
The four major steps of the Wiig model. The first one is building knowledge. It's from external and internal knowledge sources. For example, load from personal experiences and formal education and training. The second one is holding knowledge, which is storing the information in a particular form. For example, in people or in tangible forms like books. The third one is pooling knowledge. It is through intranets or knowledge management portals. For example, KM systems such as intranet and DBase, or groups of people brainstorm. And the last one is applying knowledge. It is in the context of work embedded in process.
Four characteristics of the Wiig model. First is completeness. When building knowledge for the organization, the completeness of this knowledge is an important step to utilization. It means that you need to gather as much as information you could get, and the knowledge source can be varied, from human mind to knowledge bases such as tactic or explicit knowledge. Connectedness, to understand and define the relation between knowledge objects. Since most of the knowledge objects are connected to each other, this could help to pull out related information for decision making. Congruency, all facts, figure, concept, and content and organization's objects should be aligned. The use of congruency is for problem solving, but most of the knowledge content are hard to meet the criteria. Purpose and perspective. Perspective is a particular point of view for a particular purpose. The perspective could help to gather information from a certain point of view and increase the relevancy for users. Also, to organize the knowledge, we need to use both perspective and purpose.
Finally, I'm going to explain the condition and the conclusion for the Wiig knowledge management cycle. Wiig highlights three conditions that need to exist for an organization to conduct its business successfully. The three conditions are: first, that it must have a business and customers. Second, it must have resources such as people, budget, and facilities. Last but not least, it must have the strength to act. Wiig marks the major purpose of knowledge management as it is an effort to make the organization intelligent acting by facilitating the creation, accumulation, deployment, and use of quality knowledge. Wiig's knowledge management cycle shows how knowledge is built and used as individuals or as organizations.